Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So today I want to do a fun, what I add into my signatures. So it's going to be kind of a day of putting things together and how I want to add my signatures in, and I'm going to put it into my fun, my feather journal here. And I made this with you guys. I made the snippet first. Okay, let's see. Actually, did I do the snippet? Yeah, I think I did the snippet with you guys first. So this comes off, and it's got a cool feather stencil. So I sewed all this together and showed you guys how to do that. So I'll try to put that on the end screen so you guys can see. And then I did the cluster feathers. Showed you guys how to do that. I'll put that on the end screen. And then we got this far with everything. So I'll try to put that video at the end too, so you guys can check it out. And just so much fun with my feather stencil that I have here. And the stencil is down below in the links if you want to come check it out. Yeah, so this is fun. I've just been having a fun time making this with you guys. So today is going to be adding signatures. I don't know if we'll get that far to actually put the signatures in, but I want to show you guys what I like to do in my process of getting the signatures ready, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so let's see. So first I like to do is all the, let's say, wet ingredients. So like if you're going to do any texture paste or spackling or crackle paste or gesso, like I'm going to stamp with some gesso, anything like that that you need to dry, I like to do first. Okay, so that's my first step. And I got this fun stencil. I haven't used it yet, but I figured this would go great. I'm trying to incorporate kind of birds and stuff into the feather journal. And I love this stencil. I'll make sure to link this down below. I got it on Amazon. And we'll try it out today and see how fun that is. So that'll be a good one. So it's like stenciling, anything like that. I want to put some texture or spackling. I like to use my spackling. It's lightweight spackling. You can get it at any hardware store. Works great. That's what's on here with these. I mean, you get some flake offs, but I think you do a texture paste also. So I think it works great. And it's way cheaper alternative. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do is add some of that to, like, you know, my burlap and stuff here, or maybe with a feather here, and just play around, maybe do some designs on here. And just, so that stuff needs to dry before I can add it to my journal. I have fun with this book is cool. I like adding some of these pages. That'll be later on. I just have that sitting here. I have a pile. I'm right in the middle of all of it here. And then these are some of my digitals. And I'll make sure to link those down below. You guys come check them out. But this is just parts of my digitals that I've been... it's like they're collage digitals and stuff. And they're great for pockets and belly bands and different things like that. So I want to incorporate these into the journal. And they're so white on the background that I'm wanting to... you know, do some stamping on it or some stenciling and getting those all ready. So I'm going to start today with just like some of the wet ingredient stuff and getting these dry, and we'll go from there. Okay. So first of all, I have a black napkin here, and I'm just going to take it, and we only need part of it, just half of it here. It's a 2-ply here. So I'm going like this. Save that one for something else. And what I want to do is get this one ready to either take it in, decoupage it down, which would be a great idea to do that on the back of one of these, or, you know, all of them would look really cool. And then incorporate these into the junk journal, or make little booklets out of these would be great. Yeah. So I also have some ideas. Let me know down below if you guys want to see how I make different booklets to incorporate into your junk journals. Let me know about that one, because I think that would be a fun project. Okay, so what I'm doing is just taking my watered down gesso, which is just Liquitex, basic Liquitex, white gesso. And I just give it a shake, add some water to it. I mean, I have it pretty runny. So, and then just make sure to put some in your lid here. Oop, there's a little drop. And I'm gonna just spread it around, because I'm just gonna take it and stamp with it. You can even take your paintbrush like that. Just give it a, I mean, even a little splatters isn't a bad thing. No, it will not splatter. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my stamp real quick and I'll be right back. So I'm gonna start off with just my word stamp here. And this is pretty cool. I think I have it down in my links below. It's just my little word stamps, and it works great. So what I'm taking is just gonna stamp it in my gesso. Like that. And you don't need the paint too thick, or the gesso too thick. These are just fun. Once this dries, it's pretty permanent to be able to, take your water and glue mixture and just glue everything down. Okay. There we go. So I just leave it just like that. And this is the reason I do these first and just put them to the side and let them dry while I work on other things to add to my journal. So I'm just going to take it and put it over to the side. Okay, and then I got some fun bird stamps here. And these are linked down below too. So you can check them out. They're kind of fun. Well, that turned out pretty cool. So that's fun. You just gotta keep just dipping it in your gesso. You can do white paint. You can do any kind of acrylic paints. Just make sure to rinse off your stamp when you're done in warm water, because you don't want it to just sit there and stick on it. Too much gesso on it, so just be careful. That's kind of cool though. You can see it, some of it coming around, like it's like the outline of it. Well, that's kind of fun. So maybe we'll stamp it and then pull it up real quick. Let's try that. And then just don't let it stick so long. There we go. So there, a little tip and trick that we just learned on there. Learned it on the fly. No pun intended. Okay. So you can even just overlap. You can do them however you want. Just kind of get the bird images on there. And then there we go, just lift it up, because I think I let that one sit too long. But that's still usable. I think that would be kind of fun to do something with that. So there we go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over and let it dry, and then we'll come back to it later. Okay. So now I'm going to take my spackling. I got all those on the napkin, the gesso stamped, just drying over there. We'll mess with those in a minute. So I'm just taking my spackling here and my palette knife. And I'm just going to stencil a little feather. Just trying to get it on here as good as I can. That's really fun. Okay, so I'm gonna set this over here. And now, let's see. This is just some tea dyed, and I think a little bit of Rit dye got on it. Just fabric, so those are fun to play with. And I think we can incorporate this in our journal somehow. Get those. See if I can fit these. Maybe like that. make sure to get it all the way pressed into the fabrics. And then when it dries, it'll hold on. So that's kind of fun, just something different here. Okay. And let's see, I also have, this is my coffee spray. Now be careful if you do this, when that's wet, it might ooze and run. It won't keep its form, but I'm just gonna do a little just spritz on it, maybe just to make it not so white. So do that. And then I got some Rit dye here, and this is aquamarine. So, and I got these on some of my papers throughout. I'll show you guys some of the spray and stuff. So do that. And if you barely push it, you can get some sprinkles, just little droplets. Okay, so I'm liking that. So these will go over to the side and dry, and I will incorporate those somehow. And let me go put those over there real quick. Okay. So now I want to play around with my calligraphy book here. And let's see. I think it says copyright in 79 here. That was a good year. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. And I thought this page was really cool. Let's put it to good use here. So I'll show you guys a little trick that you can do. You can even take your stitch ripper. This is a good one. But if you don't have a stitch ripper, I'll show you this. These will work. Okay, so let's see. Most books will be bound together some way or another throughout. So this one is just here, 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 and here. Now you need something to leverage to get underneath it, so you can go like this with just your little poker tool or whatever you got, and then just take your scissors, and there you go. You can cut them like that. You can take your stitch ripper. I mean, this is probably the easiest. Just pop it right off like that. If you can't get under with your stitch ripper, just do that, and then you get a good, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. So you just get right underneath it, like that, and then there you go. So you just make sure to cut it. And then I'll show you guys, you can just pull it right out. Okay. So you can take the signature here and just pull out the pages, just like that. So then you have them intact, which is really fun. Put it to the side, use that for later. Nothing goes to waste around here, that's for sure. Okay. So there we go. I'm gonna keep these in here until next time. Put that to the side. Now, I was looking at this, and this is a perfect size for this journal. So I want to cut around real quick. Okay. And I'll put that back into the book. Save all these papers. I mean, you can see how they're just got that vintage look around them because this is aged for sure. Okay. Now we got that and we got that. So we got front and a back. And what I want to, and it's going to be folded this way. So what I want to do is just kind of grunge this up and have a little bit of fun with it. So we got some crackle paste and my palette knife. And want to do some gesso splattering and maybe some just some black acrylics. So acrylics are definitely a must that I love to use in my journal pages. So that's definitely a wet ingredient. And the crackle paste, a little bit of gesso, some spritzing here. We got our colors we're incorporating. So we got the RIT dye here, and I've showed you guys this, but it's RIT dye is what it is. And I just dilute it down into a sprayer bottle, or I got my fun little tie-dye bottles that I use here. Like this is a black, and so you could do it however you want. Like this will be fun drips. You could do drips on it. I'll put that there so we can check it out. But this is a liquid form, and I have it down in my description box. So if you guys want to come check it out. But this is fun to dye fabrics, papers, any kind of thing you could think of, it'll dye. So it's great. I love it. And then I got some coffee here. Just some instant, same as this, instant coffee with water, but I have it here so I could just drip it out if I want to do drips. Let's see. This is denim blue, some red dye, and okay, so let's go from here to our crackle. I think this is in the description box below also, if you guys want to check it out. So I'm just gonna do some crackles around. Your dyes and have them move around. Just keep in mind it may wrinkle your papers, but you can press them later. So this is super fun. So this is definitely a process I love to do. And there we go. And once it dries, all these little crackle spots will look all crackly. So that's one side, and then once this dries, I'll go ahead and do the other side. But for now, I just wanted to show you guys that. And let me go set this over to dry, and we'll continue. So I put that to the side, and I forgot to use my black paint here. But I used the black ink, so what I did is this side of the paper that we cut, and I will definitely use this in something. So I'm just going to go around. I'm going to move my journal out of the way in case I splatter it. And you just wet it down. Just get some bunch of water like that. You guys can see this? Okay, let me get sure. And just kind of get it wet. And go ahead and grunge this up a little bit. Because this will definitely get used in some sort of project. And why not, you know? And I did something similar with this with you guys the other day, and it was a fun. That's a lot of the signatures that are the papers that I will be putting into this signature, and I will show you guys those in a minute. And I went through and we did a bunch of acrylic splattering and some of my fun papers here. We glued some of those down and put them all on and made them all grungy. I made a bunch of grungy pages. And I'll make sure to put that on the end screen. You guys can check them out. But that'll be some papers that I definitely will incorporate into my feather journal. Let's see. I'm just whatever you got to grunge it up here. You can even do some swoops throughout, like that. And then there we go. And you can just rub it around in there and kind of get the other side too. It's always an option. That's it. This is just fun. It's so relaxing just to sit and grunge up your papers and all your little scraps. Okay, this will definitely go to the side, and I will be back and we'll check out my papers that I did before with you guys. All right, so here are some of the grungy papers that we did together, and I'll make sure to put that on the end screen. And yeah, so it's pretty fun. A lot of my stuff is avocado dyed, onion skin dyed, tea dyed, coffee dyed papers that I have throughout, and then that's my base, and then I do some grunging on top of it and stuff. So this is some of the stuff I want to incorporate into my journal. So I will look through, and this deli paper is great. I love using it. It's down in the links below, but if you want to check it out, it's pretty fun to use to do your stamp offs and do some fun acrylic stenciling and all that stuff, and some stamping. And so this is just some things that I want to play with to add in my signature. And I'm thinking I'm just going to do one signature. I know it's going to be hard because I got so many to choose from, but these will definitely go in other journals for sure. And they're just so much fun to play with. There's just so many cool things you can do. Okay. This is just like a cardstock. It came with one of my stencils. So it was kind of fun. And then I also want to incorporate maybe some leather, or, you know, it's not real leather. I think it's just pleather. And, you know, some dyed fabrics thrown in throughout. I got my other deli paper, my craft deli paper. It's really cool. I love this stuff. That's in the links below too. They're 12 by 12s. And I made a cool little, just a little bag that we can have pockets in. And I think that's going to fit in the journal perfect. Just some fun things to play with. This is my parchment paper that I grunged up. I think that would be kind of cool to incorporate some of that. This is just a technique that I showed on a video, just showing the different colors and then different snippets of fabric and then some different washi tape ideas. And this is on a RIT dyed, and I think it's avocado dyed too. But I was thinking of cutting some of this out and maybe throwing that into the journal. Some fun little pages that you can write on, and like your least favorites, like book for young people, color to wear, first lady, you know, grade in school, kind of cake. So this is kind of cool, and I think that'd be fun to put in there and add to your, you know, to the journal that someone can write and do all kinds of fun things on. And this is an older vintage page from, my mother-in-law gave it to me, and I thought maybe incorporating some of the ducks throughout because it's my feather journal. A little artwork that I did. This came in a restaurant, and I think it was in the bottom of the plate or something with a salad or something like that. And me and my son had it, and I was like, "Ooh, I want those!" So I took them. I think these would be fun. I don't know what I'll do with these, but maybe grunge them up and then incorporate stuff. So this is just some ideas for you guys too. And then these are just from the coloring pages, and I grunged them, and these would be great little pockets, little flip things, stuff like that, you know. So I'm gonna put this to the side real quick. And I want to play with these, like I said at the beginning, some of my digitals. But I want to check out my new stencil here. And I think on one of these we'll do some birds. And then I got the black napkins that are drying over there. They should be dry soon with the gesso stamp. And I think we'll glue that down on the back of one just to show you guys how to do that. So these are fun crows. And what I'm gonna do is my black soot here. Put the lid on my gesso. Don't want that drying up. Okay, so I got my black soot, and I thought this would be fun just to have a couple flying little crow here. And so you can also just do your stencils and then come through and just grunge up around them, and you know, maybe do some splatters, different texture paste or crackle paste around it, just different things like that. I mean, just to get them all grunged up and ready to go into a journal. So I think that's fun. We'll do that, and then maybe just a little crow squawking away. I love this stencil. This is fun. It's really smooth to use. Okay. Gotta love crows. There we go. So that's really fun. And then before I put it in the journal, I'll probably just splatter it a little bit and give it a little bit of something to put in the, you know, just give it a little texture. I like doing the texture. Okay. And let me go ahead and grab the napkin, and I'll show you guys, and we'll probably glue it on the back of these two just for an example to check it out. Okay, so this is just my 50-50 glue and water mixture. It's just Elmer's glue and water. And I got my digital here. I'm just gonna take it. You can see once it's dry, it doesn't smear around, so that's kind of cool. And it's as easy as that. And just kind of grab it underneath so it doesn't come off. But I will just set this to the side until it dries, and you can rip it off, or you can do it when it's wet. Now I went a little hard right there, and you can see that it went through like that. So what you could do is just go ahead and take a piece down here, set it wherever you want, or right on the hole is where you should do, and then go like that, and it pieces it together. Like I said, wait for it to dry, or just kind of rip around the edges, and then you can trim it more when it's dry if you want. So any kind of little mistakes like that is just super easy to fix. I mean, you just pop down another napkin on top, or another piece of it, and there you go. That one. And I want to just throw that right there. And I wanted to play around with the birds. I think the birds are fun. Okay. So we got this digital. It's pretty much just the same gist here. Just put down your glue first. And this is nice, messy fun, which is awesome. I like getting messy sometimes. Sticky and messy. Okay. And then just place it down where you want it. And a little bit of wrinkles in it, I don't mind, because it just gives it a little more character. So just kind of, just lightly press it down. And like you can see, I got the edge popping out here, like, so when it dries you can cut it, or you can even take your black soot and just ink over it, and you wouldn't even notice it. Those little tips and tricks to hide your mistakes. Well, there's no mistakes, not in crafting, not especially not in junk journaling. I think it just takes you on a different journey than the journey you were gonna be on. Okay, so there we go. And when that dries, you'll be able to see the birds. So you can see this one over here drying more. and the gesso's coming through. So as it sits and dries, the birds will pop out more. Okay. So I think I'm just going to put this over to the side and just cut off the napkin when it's dry. All right, so I went ahead and just did my heat gun on here, so it's a little tacky, but I just want to show you guys. So there we go. You can either cut it like that, or you could take your little cutter here, and then I could just go up a little bit with it. There we go. That's always the easy way to do it. And there you go. Oh, and then we can cut off just that edge right there. It's white. And I think that turned out really cute. So it's a little wet, but you could see there. So that's fun. Now, I kind of like the rough edges on this one. I think I might just keep this one the way it is. Just like that. And it's a little damp, but there we go. So I wanted to show you guys that. And now, so that's what I do, is I get all the wet stuff done first. Anything that's going to be wet that needs to be dried to the side. Get it all dried, get it all done. And what I'm going to do now, and I'll do it in a time lapse because I just kind of want to go through it real quick, is I'm going to get them a signature all ready, and then I'll show you guys what's in my signature. And we'll go from there.